right, this is the review for your Algebra 1 test. I believe this is test 1 through 35, so covers lessons 1 through 35. The first question that you'll be introduced to is going to go something like this. They're going to tell you that the area of a square garden, okay, the area of a square garden. So they're not going to, there's no picture that goes with this. So in my box, I'm going to draw a square. What do I know about a square? All four sides are congruent, okay? And they're going to tell you that the area of the square garden is something like, let's say 168. Okay, 168, we'll say feet squared. Okay, they'll tell you that. We want to estimate the side length of the garden to the nearest whole number. So what do I do with 168 feet squared? If I know that this is the area, how do I find the side length? Okay, so yeah, we want to take the square root of 168, okay, because that's how we would get area, right? So to do the reverse. So if I knew, let's say that this was x and this was x, right? What we're saying then is that x squared equals 168. How do I undo something squared? Just what you just said, we would square root both sides. So x equals the square root of 168. What is the square root of 168? Can anybody tell me? I mean, you're probably going to use a calculator to calculate this. What is it? Probably get a decimal, right? What is it? What's that? You guys know how to, I mean, if you don't have a calculator at this point, you need to be moving over here grabbing one, yes? 12.9614, right? Okay, now here's a problem. All right, the instructions are going to tell you, and I think I told you to answer this to the nearest whole number. If you wrote in 12.9614, although you're accurate, you didn't follow the directions, you wouldn't get the point, right? What should my answer be? 13. And because the question says don't forget to label, if you don't label, guess what? You're not going to get the point. All right, what's the label here? Feet. So 13 feet. Okay, 13 feet is my answer. Okay, do we understand that question? Okay, everybody's got it? Good. Okay, let's move on to another question. Let's look at question number 2. Okay, they're going to give you an experiment. Okay, well, they're going to show you something that looks like a spinner, and let's say that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll call them equal parts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mine isn't spectacularly accurate, but we've got a spinner here. And this experiment consists of spinning a spinner as shown. All outcomes are equally likely, meaning that all the pie pieces are the same size. Okay? We want to know what the probability that the spinner will land on an even number. Okay? What is the probability that the spinner will land on an even number? Okay, so what kind of number goes on top in a probability? Number of desired. Good. Number of desired. So we're looking for what types of numbers to go up top. Even numbers. How many evens are there? 2. Okay, what kind of number goes on the bottom? Total. How many total are there? 5. So the probability is 2/5. You're going to want to put your answer in as a fraction in simplest form. So whenever you go to type this in, it's going to be 2 divided by 5 with no spaces. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay? All right. For the next question. Like I said, I'm going to cover as many as I can, but I'm not going to make a video for the ones that I didn't cover, right? Because you guys did get sent a review that you could study anything else from, okay? All right, so this one you're going to want to simplify. It's going to give you something like, Something like that. Okay, we want to simplify this. What are my steps here? What's the first thing I look for? Yeah, these are z's. Okay, those are z's. The first thing I want to look is, can I simplify where? Inside the parentheses. Can I simplify inside the parentheses? Somebody says yes. Are they correct? Why can't I simplify inside the parentheses? Because the z's don't have the same, what did you say, Reagan? They don't have the same exponents. Okay? So, because I can't simplify inside the parentheses, what is my next step? Distribute. What am I distributing? The 6 to just the 6z to the 6th, right? So what am I getting? 36z to the 6th, and then what? Minus 4z, right? No. Good. All right, because that is the common mistake. Right? I also have to distribute here. Now, it's not just 4z, right? It is what? Negative 4z. Okay, so what is 6 times negative 4z? Negative 24z. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay. Double check in here. Okay. All right, next one. All right, let's see. We'll say a fence. A fence has a total of 750 planks. So a fence, you're looking at something that looks like this, right? Right, that's what a fence would look like if I was to illustrate it, and we're getting 750 of those. Okay? We got somebody, they can paint Z planks per day. Okay? Z planks per 1 day. Okay, you follow that? That's my rate. I can do Z planks per day. Okay? We want to write an expression for how many days it's going to take to finish painting that fence. Okay, we're going to use a division bar, or a fraction symbol for division. We're going to use a star symbol for multiplication. Okay? So we want to know how many days. All right, so let's start off with what we should understand. Distance equals rate times time. Okay? In this case, planks equals our rate times our time. Okay? Rate equals distance over time. Okay? Or our rate equals our number of planks per day. This is my rate, planks per day. Does that make sense? Okay? Time equals distance over rate, or planks over my rate. All right. So if we're asking how many days, what am I trying to solve for? Am I solving for T, R, or D? T. We're trying to use this equation right here. Time equals planks over my rate. So time, how many planks do I have? 750 planks. What is my rate? Z over 1. Okay, so I have, really I have 750 over 1 over Z over 1. I have a fraction divided by a fraction. Can I divide a fraction by a fraction? What do I have to do? Multiply by the reciprocal. So that's 750 over 1 times 1 over what? Z. So my time equals 750 over Z. Let me double check, make sure I'm not telling you anything wrong here. Okay. All right. Does this make sense to you? 750 over Z. Do we understand how we got there? Yes? Okay, because that's the work I'm looking for in that box sheet, is pretty much what you see right here to the end. Okay? So if you understand these three formulas, whenever it says how long, time equals my items divided by my rate, I came up here, I made sure to write my rate down. Okay, so I know that's going to go underneath my number, and then I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of that fraction. Okay, but remember that 750 is a fraction over 1. Okay? All right, any questions about that? Okay, because I know that this is one of those questions where there's going to be a lot of people that are nodding their head yes today that are completely forgetting everything tomorrow. All right, what are we ready for? Number 5? Okay, number 5. All right, do we know what perimeter means? What does perimeter mean? All the sides added together, right? Good. If we understand that, then we'll be in good shape. Okay? They're going to give us a triangle. It's going to say something like 7x plus 12 for one side, maybe 10x for this side, and let's see. Hold on, let's make this a y, and this right here. We want to write an expression for the perimeter of the figure. So what do I need to do with all of this? Combine like terms. So add everything together, right? So what are my like terms? 5x and 7x. Okay, what's 5x and 7x? All right, so I got 12x. What are my other like terms? 12y and 4y. What's 12y and 4y? 16y. All right, all done, right? What did you forget? Forgot the 10x. All right, so where do we combine that with? 12x. What am I getting then? 22x plus 16y. Okay, that's my expression for my perimeter. You're going to type that in without any spaces, okay? So 22x plus 16y, no spaces, okay? All right, you're going to get an expression in standard form, something along the lines of, let's see, that, and it wants this written in slope-intercept form. How do I do that? Abby, are you awake? Because I'm telling you what's on your test. Okay, you're going to take a test tomorrow, all right? Okay, there's no reason to not do well. Okay, what do I do to get this into slope-intercept form? Real quick, what is slope-intercept form, Abby? Do you remember? Well, do you know what the formula is? Okay, just tell me what the formula is. Did you say mx? Yeah. Okay. We're missing one part, mx, Clayton, plus b. Okay, so we need to remember y equals mx plus b is my slope-intercept form of the equation, right? All right, how do I get this up here, this 8x minus 4y equals 20, to be that? Go ahead. All right, okay, so you're just subtracting 8 from both sides. Oh, 8x. Good. Okay, but I'm going to take you guys literally anytime you tell me something, okay? Because it's either going to indicate what you know or what you don't know. All right, so as I rewrite the equation, what does that look like as I rewrite it? Good. Okay, negative 4y equals negative 8x plus 20. Now what? Anybody? Divide by negative 4. Not negative 4y? Okay. Because what am I ultimately trying to do? Solve for y. Yes. Okay, so y equals, let's simplify. What's negative 8x divided by negative 4? 2x and 20 divided by negative 4. negative 5. That's what I want. Okay? Can we do that? See standard form, solve it for y. Okay, we'll give you slope-intercept form. Let's look at our next question. All right, let's see. We got a table of values. Okay, so let's say we have an equation y equals, let's say 34x plus 14. They give me a table of values x, y, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to fill in those 4 numbers. What do? Plug in what? Plug in my x values in my table. Where do I plug them in at? Plug them in for x in the equation, and what am I solving for? My y values. Okay, so what's 34 times what to start with? 34 times 1. What's 34 times 1? What's 34 plus 14? 48. Okay, 48. Okay. And then what? 34 times 2. Okay, 34 times 2 is what? 68? Is that right? 68 plus 14? Is it 82? What are you guys going to do? You're not going to try to do this all in your head, are you? Tomorrow? You're going to do this all in your head? Or are you going to show me your work? Okay, well, is it 82? Okay. All right, then what? 34 times 3 plus 14, 116. Okay, 34 times 4 plus 14. What is it? 150. Okay, very good. All right, so that's what we're looking for there, but you're going to show some more work than what I showed you. Okay, let's look at number 8. 8. Let's see, we're going to have a circle graph. Let's see. Circle graph is going to compare some numbers of different types of video. We want to know a certain percentage of these videos that were rented. We want to use the circle graph to answer the question. Let's say we have, let's call comedy. Let's say it's 60. Let's say action. And let's say it's 70. Let's take this. Kids. Let's say it's 50. I know these numbers aren't going to look right to the graph, but that's okay. And then let's say romance is 20. Okay? And these are percentages. Okay? We want to know, let's see. Actually, no, those are just numbers. Those are just numbers. All right? So you've got 50, 70, 60, 20, right? Because you should notice that those percentages would be over 100%, right? Okay, so these are just, they rented 50 kids movies, 70 action movies, 60 comedy movies, 20 romance movies, right? All right, we want to know what percent of movies rented were action movies. Okay, so we're going to set up a, what? Proportion. Okay, all right. We're solving for a percent. So somebody, Jordan, tell me how I'm going to set this up. 100 on the bottom, will that work? On top of here? We're doing action movies, you're right, so we'll have to do 70 somewhere, but where do you want to put it? You want top right? Okay. I think that's what you were pointing to, 70 top right. Okay. All of them combined. So 20 plus 50 is what? 70 and 70 is 140 and 60 is 200. So where do I put the 200 at? Bottom, okay, 200. And we're just solving for the top left, is that correct? Okay. All right, so cross multiply. All right, so we have 200x equals, is that what, 7,000? 7,000? Okay, what are you going to do now? Divide by 200 on both sides. All right, so what's 7,000 divided by 200? 35. So was it 0.35 or just 35? What is this representing though? Percent. Okay, so we want a percent symbol there. Okay, 35% of the movies rented were action movies. Okay, does that help you out? Okay. Do you think this is a good way to review? Okay, hopefully. All right, you're going to get something like this. Let's say b over 180 minus, let's say 4/18 equals 2/18. We want to solve for b. What do you think? Tiffany? What do you do? You want to get a common denominator first. Okay. Where do you want to get that common denominator at? Okay. So how do I get that common denominator? I mean, b over 180 already has 180, so what are you doing then? You're multiplying just this by 10? Oh, top and bottom by 10. Okay. All right, so I have b over 180 minus what? 40 over 180. Oh, you're doing that over here. Okay, times 10 times 10. So that equals 20 over 180. Okay. All right. But b over 180 minus 40 over 180. What's that coming out to? I still have two fractions. I started with two fractions. All right, you got the common denominator, which you're right. In order to simplify two fractions, I have to get a common denominator. Okay, you want to add 40 over 180 to over here. So add 40 over 180 there. Okay, so that's going to leave b over 180 here equals what over on the other side? 60 over 180. Okay. All right, what's this look like here to you? It looks like a proportion. How do we solve proportions? Cross multiply and divide, so you're going to multiply 60 times 180. And 180 times b. Somebody tell me what I'm going to write down so I'm not just 1,800, 10,800. What does that equal? Anybody? What's it equal? What's on the other side? Huh? 180b. Okay. We're trying to solve for b. Now what do I do? Blayton? Divide by 180 on both sides. Okay, what's 10,800 divided by 180? 60? Okay. All right. I mean, I probably would have solved maybe even a little bit differently, but you still got to the right answer, so no problems with that. Okay? We all good there? Okay? Okay? They're going to give you a graph. You have to determine if it is a function or not. Let's say it looks something like that. Is that a function? Yes? Okay. What if it looked like this? No. Okay. What if it looked like that? No. What if it looked like that? Okay. All right. Vertical line test, correct? Does everybody understand? Okay, great. Okay. Let's see. This is somewhat similar to what you've seen so far. If we had okay, and then we wanted to solve for x here. What do we start off doing? Distribute what? Okay, negative 6 to 2x is what? Negative 12x, is that what you said? Okay, now what? Negative 6 to 6, which is negative 36, okay, equals 2x plus 14. Okay, McEwen, what would you do next? Subtract 2x from both sides, I'm guessing from the negative 12x. What's that going to give you? Negative 14x minus 36 equals 14. Okay? Now what, Christian? 2. Add 36 to both sides. Okay, we got negative 14x equals 50. Okay? Okay? Now what? Divide by negative 14. Okay? Like I said, I've changed some things, so it's a decimal number. All right? I mean, it could be, what, negative 25 over 7? If it stayed a fraction, it might look like that. Okay? So I'll take probably the fraction or the decimal. Let me see if there's preference on this question. Your answer on the test should come out to a whole number. Okay? All right, this is a good question. Let's change it up a little bit, though. Let's say we had x equals yz, but we want to solve it for y. Solve for y. I saw this question on the last test. Not very many people got it right. If I want to solve for y, what do I do? Mia, divide by z on both sides. So y equals what? X divided by z. Okay? No spaces. Okay, can we do that? Okay? All right, next. Okay, we got peanut butter is on sale. Is it better to get, let's say, 20 ounces for, let's say $4.12? Or is it better to get 28 ounces for $6.12? How would I know which is the better deal? Divide what? Okay, so you're setting up a rate of dollars per ounce, right? So 4.12 divided by 20, what's that come out to? 0.206. So we would say maybe like 21 cents per ounce. Okay? And then what's 612 divided by 28? 0.218. So 0.22 cents per ounce. Which one's the better deal? 20 ounce. Okay? All right. So we got through 13 of them. Actually, 14 of them. I don't know if I skipped a question. No? I don't know. Unless I wrote 13 twice. I don't know. But that gets you, let's see, if we did 14 out of 20. Okay, that's 70%, which is still better than what a lot of you have been getting on these tests. Should we be able to do the rest of these? All right, what are you going to go home and study? You're going to watch the video, right? And you're going to look at your reviews, okay? See anything in there that we haven't already covered here on this, and that's something you probably want to study for those last 6 or 7 questions. Let's see, there's 20 questions on the test, okay?